And guess what I talked to about for a lot of the time? How it's in his best interest to get his son, who's 20 years old, to come work with me. Okay. Either you're a recruiter and a builder or you're not. It's double dumb for a son not to come work with me. Okay, I'm always looking for the angle. What's the opportunity to end up in Rome? Who's ever the saying, all roads lead to Rome? And everything we do, no matter what type of appointment it is, all roads need to look to recruiting and building SNSD to promote SNADs. Which Primerica do you want to be in? Recruit to build or sell to survive? Which one do you want to be in? You got to work on personal development, okay? At the end of the day, I've got a sad fact for everybody on this Zoom right now. We are all paid to the penny what we're worth. Now, here's the good news, because I always have the good news, right? Every one of us can get paid more if we choose to be worth more, if we choose to self-improve, if we choose to get better. It's been said, which I love this statement, you don't have to ever worry about making money at Primerica. Just worry about one thing, getting great at every aspect of our business. Yes, get great at the products, but also get great at people skills. Get great at thinking big. When it comes to thinking big, like I remember I got my first like cool, prestigious office. We had Bill Arundel coming to town. I had a TV in the middle of the training room, and the TV was on CNBC with a little stock ticker going across, and the Dow was up and the Nasdaq's down or whatever. And Bill Arundel ripped me a new one. He's like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "We have a TV in my office too." I'm like, "Okay, so what's the problem?" He says, "My TV has Art Williams playing all day, every day. The only thing we're echoing in my office is the voice of Art Williams talking about recruiting and building." What a difference and a shift in mindset. And guess what? He was right. Okay, his pal was bigger than my pal. He was totally right. So read books and listen to audios on thinking big, on people skills. This business is 5% financial knowledge. I can teach people. I'm pretty good at the product side. I can pretty much, I believe I can teach everybody I know about the products in a few hours. It's really not that complicated. So 90+% of getting great at what we do, having a lot of success is getting good at people skills. And then leadership skills. Nothing floats my boat. Nothing gets me more pumped up, fired up, and super excited, right? I mean, than the topic of leadership. And if you think you're a leader, but no one's following you, and to quote the great John Maxwell, you're not a leader, you're just taking a walk, okay? If you want to know if you're a leader, is anybody following you? And then that's the measure of leadership. So leadership skills. Number 3, focus on a minimum of 2 to 4 personal recruits per month and 10 plus recruits every month for your teammates. Now, I don't know what you guys think when you see this, but the truth is, if that's the size of your business, if you're doing 2 to 4 personal recruits per month, you're obviously involved in that. And if you're doing 10 recruits a month in your team, what percent of those recruits are you involved in? Chances are at that size business, 100% of them. 100% of them. Okay, you're involved in it. All right. You must decide to be a recruiter builder. Deciding means you put to death all other options. You should, when you decided you're incapable. I'm incapable, I'm sorry, of going to a restaurant. Ask my wife, ask my kids, and me not prospecting the waiter or the waitress. I'm incapable of pulling up to a nice place with a valet and not prospecting the valet driver. I'm incapable of it. I look at everybody and some of you think like I don't want to bother them. I think, oh my gosh, you're so talented, hardworking, got great skills. Why are you wasting your time doing this? You're worth millions. Okay, it's how I look at them. It all begins and ends with you. We got to focus on building legs. Building legs boils down to one thing. Okay, some people think our job is to recruit people. Nope. I love how Cheryl Butler puts it. Your job is to recruit somebody, and then she doesn't pause in her sentence, and then get them a recruit before either one of you go to the bathroom. Okay, I love how she puts that, because that's a real quick new recruit for your recruit, and a whole lot of holding it, a lot longer than you want to hold it for. Amen? It's as fast as humanly possible. Recruit is not a recruit until they have a recruit. And most of silver, most of the gold, most of the oil is found 4 deep. Okay, so, and by the way, it's easier. So my whole career, I'll be honest with you, it's way harder work to recruit directs and go wide. It's way easier to go deep. I put most of my effort on going wide and way too little effort. I'm being honest with you and transparent, way too little effort on going deep. Okay. So your complete attention must be focused on getting people involved in your business. That means two things: recruiting directs and driving every leg for deep. Okay, next, become obsessed with building a big base shop to create a big hierarchy. All big hierarchies come from big base shops. And I've often said, like, if you really want to promote RVPs, last month we promoted Blake Farage RVP. My base shop did 32,000. Okay, I every time I ever promote an RVP, we're over 30K. I don't believe it's healthy to promote REPs if your base is smaller than 30K. And now we rebuild it back up to over 30K again. We'll promote probably Joseph Brace and then Brad Larson and then Linda Santiago and whoever else. We keep promoting more and more REPs. The goal is to get that to 30 by the end of next year of direct REPs, but that's how we roll. So how do you build a 30 by 30 business or base shop? Pretty easy. You compete against the date. Okay, there's 30 days in a month. You compete against the date. I never like things are complicated. I like to keep it simple. So focus on personal production through field training. Okay. I'm being transparent. I'll tell you what I did right, tell you what I did wrong. Hector Lamarck gives talks. He went from 80 to 440 to 890 in 3 consecutive years, back when the only thing they had was $30 per month life apps and a 85% REP contract with zero bonuses. And there was no money in securities. There's no such thing as a 401k, no such thing as an IRA. They weren't invented yet. All right. They made no money off investments. $30 a month life apps. And how did he do it in 3 consecutive years? Simple. He went on a whole bunch of appointments, and I love these words. Listen to these words. He said he can count on the fingers on one hand or less how many times he did an appointment by himself. Looked at every single time he did an appointment by himself as a complete and total waste of time. He was on a mission from God to duplicate himself, to create other hymns, okay? And I'm going to use it, I don't know, squat. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not mechanical. I have tools. Actually, I have one tool. It's called a fingernail clipper. I don't have other tools. I don't know what to do with them. But listen for a second. Back in the old days, there was these cars who had these things called a carburetor. Okay, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, a clutch. Anyway, so when a car, some cars you start them up if they're new and they just go. But back in the movie, some cars, someone starts pushing the car and then yell the words "pop the clutch." I don't know what that means, but they pop the clutch and then it goes. Some cars just go. Some cars you gotta push start, push it, pop the clutch, and engine starts humming. Right? Listen for a second. There's a guy named Mario Arizon. That doesn't do too bad. Makes $5 million a year. A guy in his team who happens to be his brother-in-law, married to his wife's sister, named Billy Garcia. Okay, Billy Garcia was in his business for a couple years doing nothing. One day it was after Saturday training. Mario said to Billy, "What you doing after training?" And guess what Billy said? Nothing. Nothing. He was doing 0 by 0. He was doing nothing. And Mario said, "Why don't you come with me? I have a few appointments." And he brought him on appointments. And Billy saw the appointments. He learned, okay, nobody swung a baseball bat at either one of them. It wasn't as scary as he thought it was going to be. He learned what an appointment looks like and feels like and sounds like and smells like and tastes like, okay? And then guess what? Now Billy and Murr Garcia make over $300,000 a year. Some cars, you switch the ignition, just go. Some you got to push start, okay? Through field training, okay? You should always be in appointments, but never alone. If your training set appointments, wonderful. If you set the appointment, wonderful. Drag somebody with you, okay? 2 appointments per night, 3 to 4 nights a week. Bill Arender is so good at this. He will just make you feel bad about doing appointments with single people or one-legged appointments, he calls them, okay? And this business is hard or easy? It's unbelievably easy. This is a money-making machine. This is the vault of Fort Knox. If all you have is a whole bunch of appointments with married couples, Oh my gosh, you make a lot of money. Okay, you want to make this the hardest business in the world to make money at? Keep doing appointments with one person. Let me know how that works out for you. You will be exhausted and make very little money. Okay, so you have to have what he describes as a white heat desire to have appointments with married couples. A white heat desire. Couple of nights a week, couple of times per night, 3 to 4 nights a week. I don't. People say, well, what do you want people doing all morning, all afternoon, all evening? My answer is, I don't care. Listen for a second. I don't care if you play golf 18 holes every morning and 18 holes every afternoon. If you have 2 appointments per night, 3 to 4 nights per week, you're making over 100 grand this year and giving yourself a 6-figure raise every year you keep doing that. Playing golf 36 holes a day. I don't care what you do. Okay. The whole purpose of the AM and the PM is to get in front of more married people. If you don't need to work on it because you got it going on, play golf. I don't care. You're still going to have the most thriving business in town. Okay, get white heat focused on appointments with married couples. Okay, train competent field trainers who train competent field trainers. That's something that only happens through duplicatability, through time management. So bottom line is, how's that going to happen? Well, you're the best trainer on your team. You take people on appointments with you. They learn how you do it. Then they start doing it and teach other people how to do it. That's how it happens. Duplication and transferable techniques must be a priority. Keep it simple on appointments. Grow your income to 20,000 a month in override before you even consider getting on the field. I'm at, I don't know, 20,000. I'm way more than 20,000 a week. We'll call it 20,000 every 3 days. I'm still not out of the field. I don't do appointments as much on evenings and weekends, but I do get a lot of appointments in the daytime, and I'm all about it, and I'm excited about it. Okay, number 5, have a total focus on growing attendance weekly. Let me explain what this meeting is, because it's not what you think it is. This meeting is one thing. It's your report card for the last 7 days. That's what this meeting is. What are you supposed to have done for the last 7 days? Appointments. What are you supposed to do on every appointment if you have a builder's mindset? If you decide to build a solid override income, is try to recruit the person or ask people who they know that may be opportunity minded. And guess what you do when you talk to these people? Okay, if you want to, if you go to a restaurant, what do you want people to do that you meet outside of your restaurant? Come visit the restaurant. Isn't that what you want them to do? You can talk about the restaurant all you want, but until they come visit and have a meal there, they're not making you any money. They're never going to refer anybody because you told them about it. Get people to come see what we do. Invite people. Grow, be obsessed with growing your attendance on these meetings. Become obsessed with it. Number 6, accountability is part of every great team. Mature people in business run towards accountability. Immature people in business run away from it. Ask your leader permission to text them a minimum of 3 to 7 times per day with the question, would it be okay if I texted you 3 to 7 times a day with what I just did to move my business forward? Knowing you have a rule I will follow. I will never text you the words, I did nothing. Number 7, keep everyone focused on building towards their next promotion. Okay, be driven by it. You ask, if I had Glenn Williams pop on right now for a quick little 2-minute interruption of my training, he would say, promotions move our company, promotions move your business. Okay. When did Blake have the best month he ever had? Last month. Why? He was going for a promotion. There's something about a promotion, a massive pay raise that you control. When you get it, it gets you to drive and thrive and give it everything you got to have your biggest month, right? Number 8, understand the power of partnership. The Bible says 1 can put 1,000 to flight, 2 10,000. 2 is not twice effective, but according to God's math, 10 times more effective. And partnership does not mean just husband and wife. I was single my first 8 years here. My dad was my partner. Okay, find somebody who. Here's what definition of partner: somebody who loves you and would enjoy watching you have success. That's a partner. Okay, ask them, and then they can help. If they did nothing at all except pray for you, wonderful. You got a partner. You with me? Get yourself a partner. Encourage constantly. Okay, Become the most grateful, encouraging person you've ever met. And I got to get better at this. I'm always getting called by my teammates and stuff, and they have a question for me. I tend to answer questions. I slap myself every time I hang up. You need to pump them up. You need to give them an encouraging word. You need to talk to them how great they are and where they're going and all that. So I'm just going to tell every one of you now how proud I am of you that you're up on Tuesday night watching this training. And I'm telling you, God has huge plans for you. You do something huge and incredible. You're going to make him proud and do great things. And your children's children will celebrate the kind of person you are because of your work ethic, your inspiration, your character, and your refusal to quit when times got tough. Because I know times get tough in our business. I'm so proud of everyone on here because everyone on here did not quit. Okay, so when people are doing well, encourage them. When they're not doing well, especially then encourage them. Call your teammates, text your teammates, recognize your teammates all the time. Remember that your mindset is the mindset of your team. If you're not talking, I'll close with this one statement. If you talk about recruiting, 99% of the time, recruiting in your organization drops in half. If you talk about recruiting 90% of the time, not bad, right? In high school and college, 90% is an A. You talk about recruiting 90% of the time, your recruiting numbers are non-existent. They're zero. Well, that story, you better be talking about building a solid override income through recruiting and distribution 100% of the time. Hope that helped you guys. Let's hear a few comments from anybody about your takeaway. What stood out to you from what you heard and learned today? Go ahead and raise your hand. Don't all do it at once, but we'll hear from one or two people. Let's hear from you. Who wants to talk up on what they got out of today? Yes, Courtney.
Hey, Mr. Asaad, thank you guys so much. Everyone did a phenomenal job from Virgie to Miss Yodi. I think I'm missing somebody. Everybody. Okay. One of the things that stuck out, Emmy, to me was when you said, and it kind of stuck me, weekly meetings are report cards. Because I'm so consistent with being on here and volunteering and different things like that, but I can't remember the last time I actually had one of my team members newly recruited on here. So it's just about accountability, but doing what you say you're going to do and not just talking about it. So that was one of the main things for me. And promotions move our company, promotions move our business. So thank you for that.
Awesome. Yeah, and not to beat that point to death, but when someone texts me or calls me, sorry, I can't be on train today. I don't hear, I don't hear the words I can't be on train today. You know what I hear is you completely got an F for the last 7 days. Because nobody has ever called me saying I can't be on train today if they did 10 or 15 appointments last 7 days and invited 5 or 6, 7 people, remind them what time the training starts. They never call me and say I have an appointment or I can't be on training. They never, ever, ever call me with those words. They completely miss the concept. Have you ever heard of a pastor say, sorry, I can't be at church on Sunday and preach, I gotta go pray with this person? Have you ever heard a pastor say that before? I never, ever, ever have either. Ain't that something? Thank you. Shalonda.
Man, what a great training, everybody. And Assad, something that you said that made me cringe a little bit. But you said, number one, build a solid override income, decide to be a recruiter or builder. Then what made me crazy, you said recruit to build or sell to survive.
Yeah.
That took the wind out of me.
Big amen. Awesome. Proud of you guys. Let's have a huge, gigantic, explosive week. Let's go do something great with our lives. Let's go change people's lives. Be generous this Christmas by giving the greatest opportunity on the planet, which is the one that you enjoy and why you're on tonight. Take care. Have a wonderful night.
Okay. Happy birthday, Emmy!
It's Emmy's birthday?
On Friday. Friday.
Oh, Friday. Awesome. Happy early birthday, Emmy.
Thank you.